We invite you and JB to make a few comments. Yes. JB is coming. Yes. So you let us know when you are ready. Especially that point on the international, particularly on the international cricket. That's a very strong point. When you're ready, you're ready. Wearing Gideon's color. Yes. Oh, we can start. Yes, I think he'll join us. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the press. We have a press statement here by the United Opposition on the escalating human rights violations and political intolerance in Kenya and the region. We, the United Opposition, stand before the people of Kenya and the international community, gravely alarmed by the heightened descent of our beloved nation into a state of repression, lawlessness, and political persecution. Despite our persistent calls to end arbitrary arrests, abductions, gross violation of human rights, and extrajudicial killings, the Ruto administration seems to be on a race to the bottom. That is to anarchy. In recent days, the country has been plunged into a disturbing pattern of political repression and targeted violence. Most shocking was the brazen abduction of the Honorable Member of Parliament for Juja constituency, the Honorable George Koimburi, whom we have visited this morning, and who was forcefully taken by unidentified assailants on a Sunday. He had gone to church, only to be later found tortured and dumped in a coffee plantation somewhere in Kiambu, literally fighting for his life. The horrifying incident is not isolated. It's part of a chilling trend where elected leaders and citizens, particularly Gen Zs, aligned with the opposition are being systematically targeted to silence any dissent against this regime. In Kakamega, what was meant to be a peaceful homecoming for our colleague, Honorable Cleophas Malala and the supporters of the DCP party, was quickly turned into a war zone as police deployed excessive force, including live ammunition, to disperse opposition supporters. A few days before, the same cruel pattern faced innocent, peaceful citizens in Bungoma protesting against the grabbing of the Nzoia Sugar Company. This use of disproportionate force on unarmed civilians is not only unlawful, but represents a dangerous erosion of the right to assemble as enshrined in Article 37 of the Constitution of Kenya. Moreover, we have repeatedly raised the alarm over the state-enabled culture of impunity, where political hooligans are mobilized to disrupt opposition events violently. These criminal gangs operate openly, often shielded or even escorted by state security forces. From Busia to Kisumu, Nairobi to Nyeri, opposition meetings have been ambushed, tents destroyed, sound systems and cars vandalized, and citizens assaulted. While the police stand by or worse, collaborate in this chaos, this is no doubt a state-sponsored political terrorism. We also condemn in the strongest terms the murder of two Catholic priests, Father John Minor, who had just recently hosted the second deputy president. We also condemn the death and murder of Father Alois Cheriot Bet, who had also been paid a visit by DCI officers, or murdered shortly thereafter. We are in solidarity with the Catholic Church in demand for justice and holding to account those responsible for these heinous crimes. These violations are not only gross violation of the Kenyan Constitution, but also a violation of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and other international rights statutes, including the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948, to which Kenya is a signatory, the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, ratified by Kenya as far back as 1972, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which enshrines the right to liberty, assembly, and freedom of expression. These legally binding instruments obligate the state to protect, not to persecute, any of its citizens without exception. We are deeply disturbed by the growing role of private sector enablers in this crackdown. We call out telecommunication companies, in particular Safaricom, which may have turned a blind eye, or worse, actively collaborated with the regime in surveilling, tracing, aiding, and abducting of these citizens. We demand that they publicly account for the data they provide to security agencies and affirm their commitment to protecting the rights and privacy of their customers. We equally put on notice all political and business elites, those who fund the goon squads, those who lobby for the maintenance of tyranny, and those in the diplomatic community who remain silent as Kenya burns. History will remember your complicity. To the Kenyan people, we say, do not be silenced. The repression we face today is not just about politics. It's about the very soul of our nation. When voices are muted through fear, when leaders are abducted in broad daylight, and when bullets are fired at peaceful gatherings, the silence of one becomes the silence of all. We urge every citizen, civil society groups, religious leaders, and international allies to stand in solidarity with us in demanding, one, an immediate cessation of politically motivated violence and abductions, enforced disappearances, and extrajudicial killings. Two, accountability for the telecos and private actors enabling illegal surveillance, tracking, and data breaches. Three, an end to state-backed disruption of peaceful political assemblies. Four, the protection of constitutional rights, including the freedom of assembly, association, expression, and political participation. We would like to remind Mr. Ruto that he is not immune from prosecution for crimes against humanity, which includes abductions, torture, enforced disappearances, murders, gender-based violence, and other crimes. This is not a partisan issue. It's a matter of a national concern and international concern as well. In fact, we want to declare it a national emergency. We will not relent until justice and the rule of law is restored and every Kenyan can live and speak without fear in this country. That's the end of our statement. Thank you very much.
Any questions? I think it's very clear. It's a very clear statement. In fact, if you just cut as it is, none of us here, because it's what we have discussed this morning, and those of us who have mothers just been here, Rigi G sent his apology. In fact, he was also here last night, and all the other friends are in solidarity with this statement. So I really think we shouldn't add anything unless it's something.
Question.
A question. Oh, great. Tumemwona, sauti imeanza kurudi pole pole. And his wife is beside him. And we thank Karen Hospital for taking excellent care of him. You know, when you hear stories like Mheshimiwa abducted himself, you really want to pray for those people because they're evil. You see the tattered clothes and things. He's lucky to be alive. And so we have one instrument, Constitution of Kenya 2010. And all public officers, from William Ruto to the police constables, must know that be held accountable under the Constitution. Those rights are so clearly elaborated. And so we want to say shame on anybody who thinks a Mheshimiwa like this can abduct himself. And you want us police to believe your story? So I don't want to add.
We speak to the National Police Service saying they are unaware of the abduction and they are investigating the video circulating online.
And to add on that,
They are investigating themselves.
he's even called for a presser
Who?
at 2 p.m.
Who?
Douglas Kanja, the IG.
Oh,
He's
poor
likely to
guy.
repeat the same-
Poor guy. If he repeats it, it's unfortunate. Yeah, there's an abduction squad. We go by what Rigathi Gachagua said last night. Special squad, designed to make sure that there will be no opposition in Kenya. So let him issue a statement. But who will believe a policeman like Kanja today, where his own people say, oh, Mheshimiwa abducted himself. And the man was almost dead. Okay, so, well, this is where it is. And we are not, by the way, Kenyans are very clear. Nothing will stop them from sending these people home. Are they not even on record saying, afadhali wajitetee because they know they'll go to prison? Well, the former Attorney General is here with us, immediate former. It's really, JB is with us. And these things, we're investigating, we tooth comb with ICJ. Remember, you're dealing with some of us, very senior members of the profession and members of the International Law Society of Kenya, East African Law Society. And we repeat that when we went for integration of the region, we really were for the rights of establishment. So therefore, we are all subject to the same values and standards. So we are going to make sure that this region is coded when it comes to human rights, which are universal under those statutes that have been elaborated.
How do you speak to comments made by the Tanzanian MPs yesterday about...
We don't want to comment about
No.
Tanzanian MPs.
I think let's stick to the
Yeah.
Kenyan situation
Yeah,
about abductions.
yeah.
Our own president, just a few days ago, told the Finnish president there will be no more abductions.
Yeah.
We have come here because of the latest abductee, an honorable member of parliament. And we have here the former attorney general whose own son was abducted. Probably should say a word
Yeah.
about abductions that he has called an end to.
JB.
Please.
Thank you, my colleagues. I've always called for an end to abductions, and we thought when President Ruto, in answer to a question from a foreign journalist, saying that they have all come to an end, and all those that have been abducted and safely been returned to their homes and reunited with their families. Only, unfortunately, to see this latest one of Honorable Koimburi. And just to answer a simple question, on Friday last week, the police who are looking for Honorable Koimburi did not get him. He managed to escape. The police continued to look for him. They arrested his driver. His vehicle is still at the Bodaiga police station. That was Friday. And then on Sunday, he said, Troke says, the people that were hunting for Koimburi on Friday are the same ones who are looking for him on Sunday. It's a simple thing. So, IG Kaja, please, you can tell that story to the bands, not to Kenyans. It doesn't make sense. Abductions and all forms of extrajudicial processes must come to an end in this country. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Former Speaker of the National Assembly, what is the silence? We are not getting anything from Parliament, the current Speaker.
Current Parliament. It was.
I'm told they are resuming their sitting today. That is the National Assembly. So let me not say beyond that, but Kenyans are watching very carefully what Parliament is doing.
And just to ask you a question, when the Attorney General has spoken, are you still keen on listening to Kanja? A waste of time. Yeah, I just wanted, yeah. Yeah, we want to hear what they're going to say.
They are resuming today. So
let's hear what they're going to say.
We naturally, we will expect that the National Assembly is sitting this afternoon.
We'll move a motion of adjournment.
Yes, we'll move a motion of adjournment to discuss, because it's a serious case of insecurity. It's just the other day that another member was shot and killed. Now again, yesterday or Sunday, another one is kidnapped, abducted, left for the dead. Surely, we expect no less than the House adjourning to discuss the matter of rising insecurity.
Some of them, by the way, are here. The Honorable Mule, and who else is there? And Mawade is here. Understanding order number 20. Move a motion of adjournment to discuss an urgent matter of national importance. So we expect that. And I think all members now, we give you instructions to do so. And let us see how many others remainder of what was state captured, hear what they're going to say. They're going to defend this gangsterism by the state. Asanteni.
Thank you.
No, we're making a transition to the question of the public sale. Last week, there's a conversation that emerged. The government spokesperson had opinions about where the public sale is. Watch.
The head of public service is a number one public servant in this country. And he has the seal of the president. He is the one who executes that which the president wants to be done. He helps to run the government on a daily basis. And so therefore, people who are resisting change in state corporations, in ministries, departments, and agencies are not amused, because for the first time, we are seeing a head of public service who is resolute, who is determined to weed out corruption, and there are those who are resisting change when it comes to issues to do with e-procurement.
Now, 3 days later, he realized that's not the case. Watch.
The public seal is actually under the custody of the Attorney General as per Article 9 of the Constitution. And if we look at the Office of the Attorney General Act, Clause 2 on definition of terms, it clearly states exactly that. And so therefore, this needs to go on record that the public seal is not with the head of public service, it's with the Attorney General. And that is misinformation, disinformation that came as a result of a process in Parliament. And of course, it was deleted. It was a proposal. It never went through. And we want to tell media houses to verify their facts before they publish that, because I think that is what created the momentum. So as a government spokesman, we withdraw and clarify that one so that then we get the position right. And this should be on the record.
Okay, so the government spokesperson is inviting the media to verify their facts. Yeah. The facts are coming from him. Yeah. Then he changed them. So we verify. Oh, okay, I don't know how we're going to verify that. But the law is on our side, because Section 28 of the Attorney General's Act, Office of the Attorney General Act, provides that the Attorney General shall have custody of the public sale of the Republic of Kenya. Last year, there was an amendment, a proposal to hand it over to the head of public service. But that appears to have been rejected or deleted. Speaker, help us, because you're a lawyer, understand the essence of the public sale and where exactly it is at this moment, because this question has really caused a lot of reactions online with a lot of claims that the public sale is at State House?
First of all, it's very unfortunate for the government spokesman to actually confuse the whole country. Because right now, as we stand, we don't know where that seal is. Because he has told us on one mouth that it is with the head of civil service, and he uses a very unfortunate statement that the head of the public service is the civil service number one, of civil servant number one. I'd like to educate Mr. Maura and tell him there's a difference between a public officer or a civil servant and a state officer. A state officer is on an appointive status. A civil servant is a government employee who is on permanent and pensionable terms, which Koski, the head of the public service, is not. Number two, let's go by the first argument that the seal is with the head of the public service. Now, the purpose of the seal is to seal deals for government. It's like a lawyer where you come to me as your lawyer and I drew agreements for you and the other party, and we seal that agreement and sign on it. Now, the public seal, or the government lawyer, is the Attorney General. If any deal in this country has been done and sealed with that seal, and signed a signature, which is not the Attorney General or the government lawyer, Attorney General. Wakili is here. He'll tell us that deal or that agreement, transaction is null and void ab initio from the beginning. Now, what will happen later? If another regime comes and finds there was a deal here that was signed and the public seal was impersonate and signed, and that the person who signed that was not the government lawyer, the Attorney General, then that deal will be trashed. Just like you go to the so-called, what do you call these lawyers who are not in any? Quacks. Quacks. And there are quacks in this town who are lawyers, and they have everything, including stamps and seals. And then they seal and sign it for you. If that case will ever go to court, a dispute arises, and the court realizes that this person was not a bona fide legal person to sign to append the signature on this deal, that deal or that agreement is now and void from the start. It will be trashed. So let me finish by saying this. This thing that Maura is talking about is a very serious issue. This seal is the one that makes even loans, because if the government is borrowing any money from IMF or from any country or grants or any agreements to give to lease land in this country, to lease properties like the JKIA, and that seal was not, done by the legalized person allowed by the law, and another regime comes, my friend, Mr. Maura, you are the advisor to the president, and you are among the very many advisors to His Excellency the President William Ruto. Please advise correctly and legally and help him that the deals that he shall make with that seal, other than being appended by and sanctioned by the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, and another regime will come, everything will be trashed. And we would like to warn those people who are making deals with the current government, either foreigners or the locals, that when you do that deal and the Attorney General is not the one appending his signature on it, that document will be trashed on the first day, and you shall lose your money and you shall go nowhere. Even if you go to ICC or to the East African Court of Appeal or to whatever place you go, you shall have lost your money. Mr. Maura advised the president, if that seal is with the head of the public service, my friend Kosgei, return it to Sharia House immediately. But like
does the law allow an advocate to sign for Attorney General?
No. The Attorney General
just be him. It has to be behind this.
The Attorney General is serving the government of Kenya 25 hours a day.
24.
There is not 25. You must add another hour. Just in case of any problem. That's another hour.
Okay.
It's not 24 hours.
Right. All right. Senator, what do you make of this? And should you even be concerned? Because yes, custodian, but does custodian mean the one who impresses this seal or just keeps?
There are only 2 times when you can be allowed to sign a document on behalf of the government, when you sign what is called a note verbal, and that is given directly. In fact, it can either be signed by the president or by the Minister for Foreign Affairs. This issue, I don't think this issue is about this seal, Sami. This issue is talking about the person who has the job of Attorney General. That is all. The president does not have the trust and belief that the person he has given the responsibility of advising him on legal matters cannot keep that seal. So if I was her, I would resign. It basically says that the president has no confidence in you. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
There's nothing else.
I just want to say, number one, I really pity where we have gotten as a country, where the government spokesperson can contradict himself without any repercussion. We have set the bar too low on what it requires for us to discipline people who are actually serving this regime. And I'll say that, of course, if at all the public seal is with the head of public service, that's an illegality and is actually meant to avoid issues to do with checks and balances, and maybe go against the required procedure that is required for us to do these deeds. And I am shocked that the current Attorney General has not given any statement up to now on this matter. It really gives me a lot of things to ask on why. And I wonder how many things that have happened since Mwaura, because I choose to believe his first statement that the seal is with the hopes. I choose to believe him the first time, because the second time it looked like he was. I have heard there are loans that are being taken, syndicate loans that are being taken, and the National Assembly is not aware, against the fuel levy, with over $464 million already, with 8 years repayment time. And these are loans that National Assembly has never gotten aware of. And I wonder whether that is the level of oversight that the National Assembly is lacking. And good thing we have the chairman Jailak here, because of course Article 156 that really defines the roles of the Attorney General is very clear, and we have not amended the Constitution in any way. So I want to actually get to the National Assembly. We have already I've already written a statement to inquire how many deals have been sealed, how many contracts, how many diplomatic documents have been signed after the seal was taken to head of public service. Because we need to know, Kenyans need to know. Okay. And it is important for
you believe it's not with the Attorney General?
No, I don't believe this fella. No, okay.
So tell me, Mheshimiwa Mukunji, you're saying that syndicated loans of up to $464 million, this converts to 60.3 billion shillings.
Yes.
Who has taken this for what?
This is being called secularization of
securitization.
And
it was actually more. It was 175 billion shillings.
Yeah, I'm told it's more now. I'm just telling you more than 464 million.
You think Parliament should have known that?
These are things that. What do you mean, Sam?
No.
We are the watchful eye of the public. Things like loans cannot be taken by the executive without the National Assembly having a say on it.
But the law was
and Chairman,
no, it's in the law.
Yes,
just last year.
Thank you,
Mheshimiwa Mukunji.
Yes.
Last year, I think around July, the national government gazetted 7 shillings addition on the fuel levy to now be 25 shillings per litre. this year, I think it was in the month of March or April, the Cabinet Secretary for Transport, Davis Chirichiri, indicated that the 7 shillings would be used to will be securitized so that you can get some 175 billion shillings now to clear pending bails on roads. Should Parliament know this? Does it know?
The truth is the position in the law.
Yeah.
Borrowing and what have you is done by the executive. Number one. Number two, we have a pending bill called treaty making and agreements, whereby we now want to bring all treaties, agreements, borrowings like what we have, because those agreements brought to Parliament to participate over a certain amount of money, to participate in the process of borrowing, making treaties, etc.
Yeah.
It's a bill. That's what I would say. And
so as of now, does Parliament know officially? Parliament
ought to know through the Finance Committee, because the Finance Committee is informed on all matters.
Does it
finance.
know? They don't.
All right?
Nobody knows.
To the best of my knowledge, as chairman of JLAC, I may not know, but that is not within my purview.
No, it's okay. It's his answer.
No. It's within the purview of the Finance Committee. And Finance Committee,
you don't know or you don't care,
represents Parliament. No. That is number one.
Please don't go there.
Number two,
allow him to make his statement. Go ahead, Chairman.
Okay. Number two, there are two publics. There are many publics. There are many seals. That's how we should start. I was about to support Mwaura because the first statement he makes is the president's seal. That's what he said. And there is a president's seal. This is it's not found in the statutes. But he has a seal when he appoints cabinet secretaries and PSs. After he executes the document, you will see the head of publics appending a seal. That is the president's seal. That is the OPS, or wherever they keep it.
Where is it found?
That I will not state which law is with it.
No, you will tell us because
let me tell you the truth.
No, let me tell you why. Because the Constitution and what schedule is this? I don't know what schedule it is. The emblems of the country.
The emblems of the country.
Yes. The D of it is the
public seal.
It's the seal you see that has the coat of arms.
I agree.
Kenya government.
I agree.
So the president.
Is it part this seal?
No, these are pictures of it.
I'm not a Munene. That I know in law. When he appoints cabinet secretaries, their letters of appointment of I don't. Because public seal is supposed to bind the country. What it is for? It's for international relations.
Where do I read that,
Sammy? Because, as you're saying, any document, any instrument out of binding two countries, a cabinet secretary is not bound to Kenya by a seal.
Is bound by what?
Is bound by the appointment by the president.
No.
That's why he serves.
But he's serving the country.
Just listen to me.
Sorry.
He's just misinforming the public.
Allow him to make his answer. It's his answer.
You're giving him all of time.
Because you just what I'm saying. There are many seals. Many entities have seals. All right. We may not find them in any particular law book, but the public seal.
Do they have any legal consequence?
No legal backup.
You see, the problem with the entities, apart from human beings, sign documents through a thumbprint. Your own signature or a thumbprint. For corporates, parastatals, and other entities that have legal persons, do it through the seal. A human being will sign, but you must affix seal.
Sorry, so
let me just listen. A sovereign.
No, wait.
A sovereign like the country. And that's why we have it in the law. A sovereign like the country, Kenya, is bound by a public seal. That is relations between Kenya and any other person which have legal effect through a public seal. So he talked about the president's seal. And for that, I wouldn't have had a problem with it until he went to correct himself.
So the president does not work for himself. He works for the country, isn't it?
He works for the
country. Can he use a seal that is not public?
Well, to sign documents that are executive president, he may. Because even let's
define what is a public seal.
A public seal.
Let me say what is a public seal.
A public seal.
No, let me help you, Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen to this. A public seal is the official national signature.
Yeah.
Okay? Used to authenticate agreements and decisions made by the government on behalf of the people.
Correct.
That's the simple description of a public.
So what is a president's seal? If
no, I'm hearing it for the first time.
If it exists,
there is nothing
that
like
that. All right, let's move on to the public seal.
Let me just
small. Chairman came prepared. Chairman came prepared to defend the government.
I have not discussing this.
Chairman came to defend the government.
Honorable.
No.
It is now even saying Mwaura meant a presidential seal.
No,
you said it.
Surely.
No, you said it.
Let me say this.
Why was he contradicting himself later? Surely, my friend.
I wish I finished this one so that we get it from there. Just a minute.
No,
let me finish this.
Senator's been waiting for a moment.
The story of the seal is as relevant as the day when Justin Muturi left his office. That is the reason why the disagreements came up. Muturi was being asked, and he has stated that publicly, to sign and seal off agreements which were fake, including Adani and any other. The story ends there. The other issues you are discussing here, waste of time.
You'll have the final word. What did you want
I wanted to finish by describing this seal. Listen what it further describes. It also authorizes transactions that shape Kenya's economy and sovereignty.
Yes.
These functions, listen to this. Ensure no development. However, they also carry grave. Let me finish.
That's okay, Speaker. I think the point.
The point is made.
Your final word. Finish
this way. Number one, when Mwaura talked about the president's seal, I wouldn't have bothered with him. All right, because it's not. The public seal, if it exists, because I see people appending it when appointments are made at Waterview. But the public seal, which is the seal of the sovereign, and you've used the word sovereign there because our country is sovereign.
Yeah.
Kenya is not bound on anything that is not under public seal. Now the question is, where is the public seal? According to the laws, and you've read it very well, what the law is today, the public seal is supposed to be with the AG. And I believe he has it. I believe Muturi had it. The reason he said he was told to go and sign the documents and seal them somewhere, which means he was actually carrying it.
So why was that attempt to move it to the office of the head of public service?
In the policy decisions, what happened was, it's good to say it, when we were when we were legalizing, legislating on the Office of Hopes, through an amendment to the National Government Administration Act, sometime 2023 or when it was, I can't remember. Some of the responsibilities of Hopes, which were set out in Section 5, included custody of the official seal, right? The public seal. Of course, we looked at it. We couldn't understand why this was happening.
Why you told what the intention
because
was?
The law is very clear.
Why you told what the intention was?
When it came to us, we had to do public participation.
Why you told what the intention was?
No. You know, when the law is brought by the executive, you may not know the intention. That's why we are told to do public participation. And we did public participation.
Chairman, why you told what the intention was?
The intention was moving a function from one state officer to another state officer.
Again, it's the constitution of Kenya.
What was being cured with that?
No,
we're going to get into fake.
That is number one.
Legal censure.
Number two, we did our work as the National Assembly. Let's not move.
Okay, that's okay.
Let's not move behind it.
Chairman, I've heard you. Your point. Thank you so much.
Let's move behind it.
We're out of time.
The truth is, my view is the AG as the custody of the public seal.
Yeah.
And when they have to seal documents, they have to carry it wherever to be used. However, that was Mwaura. He made one statement. He used the president's seal. Then later he clarified, possibly I didn't mean the president's seal. I meant the public seal, which I don't think he should have done anyway. But he did it.
The law is very clear, indeed. Let's take a look at the feedback that has come to us at Citizen TV Kenya. Sam Gichuku, they are stuck to use the Citizen Daybreak on what you're saying this morning. Babu Michael, I can believe anyone can defend what happened to MP Koimburi. This comes just days after the death of MP Ongondo, which many Kenyans condemned in the strongest terms possible. What has just happened to Koimburi is strikingly similar. It's truly unfortunate. MC Rumaz, is Kenya now a banana republic? I thought our country was governed by the rule of law. We are sliding dangerously into anarchy. Extrajudicial killings and abductions have become the order of the day. It's if someone has broken the law, take them to court.
Correct.
But the NGCDF became obsolete with the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution under the devolved system of governance. Without it, many MPs fear becoming irrelevant to voters, which is why they are desperately clinging to it. Franco Rinja, the NGCDF blurs the line between lawmakers and project implementers, fuels corruption and undermines devolution. It's time to scrap it and channel resources through accountable devolved systems that truly serve Kenyans. And finally, Lekki Sean Laban, the government is setting up a dangerous tone ahead of 2027, now abducting dissenting MPs, silencing critics, and chest thumping, tear-gassing opposition rallies. Are we back to where even peaceful dissent is criminalized? Kenya deserves better. That is Lekki Sean, who is writing to us this morning. And finally, I honestly feel NGCDF is helping Kenyans in the most desired way, though it's used by the MPs for three things: as a campaign tool for re-election, second, to change the lives of the constituents, and three, to get some money to swindle. Okay. It's feedback. Let's not have an argument about it. Asante, Senator. Senator Richard Onyonka, who wanted to leave earlier, is very happy now to conclude the show. Stephen Dishu, former Kiambu Speaker, and former MP for Juja, Gitonga Mukunji from Manyata, and Gitonga Murugara from Tharaka. I hope we are at peace now.
Can I say something about
my
MP?
Okay, all right. I just need to make sure that you're at peace. And tomorrow, all the best with the National Prayer Day. And my name is Sam Gituku. Up next is Mata Social. Stay tuned and pray for this country. Bye for now. Welcome back. You're watching Daybreak on this 27th day of May 2025. Just a few days to Madaraka Day. I think Kenya is turning 62 or thereabout. So this morning, just to quickly reintroduce them, Senator Richard Onyonka from Kisii. Good morning, Senator.
Yeah, good morning, Sam.
You've been missing in action for a few days.
Yes, I've been missing. You know, I have presidential candidates. We've been working.
Yeah.
We finished with Kisii.
Yeah.
Our team is really excited. I'm happy with what I saw Natembeya do yesterday. Next, on Thursday, we are going to Kitui. It's burning. It's boiling.
Your candidate is back. Your candidate is back for Kitui?
He's around, but I can't tell you where he is. These are state secrets. We are now talking presidential, Sammy.
Okay, tell him I'm looking for him. Yeah?
No, we are doing well. I'm so happy.
Will you tell him I'm looking for him?
Who, the candidate? Actually, I told him. He has been a bit overwhelmed.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to say what he told you.
I will. Let me tell him today after the studio.
Okay. Gitonga Mukunji, Member of Parliament for Manyata constituency. Good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
You've also been away for some weeks.
Yeah. And of course, we had a good recess.
Yes.
We are back to the National Assembly today.
Right.
Normally when National Assembly is on recess, it's really never a resting time for a member of parliament. We have a lot of engagements that rotate around projects in the constituency, matters to do with, NGCDF bursaries.
Yeah.
And of course, also, you get some time also to, spend with the family.
So what do you do with the CDF?
No. Mostly is just checking the progress in terms of projects.
Okay.
Yeah. And
all right.
You also take time to visit parastatos and all these other places to know where things are.
Okay.
The constituency development.
And this morning I have two people with the name Gitonga, George Murugara from Tharaka constituency, and also the chairperson.
The interesting part is one time I got his salary.
Actually,
two salaries.
Oh, is it?
He got my salary because Gitonga Murugara and Gitonga Mkunji.
Yes.
So they paid him.
Yeah, and he never asked for the salary.
I don't know what happened. I can't remember. It was in March anyways. So I never took a lot of issue with that. Good morning. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning to see you.
Absolutely.
And it's good to see you after so long.
It's long, quite. I haven't been here.
Yes.
I'm not per se a media person.
Yeah.
Usually backdoor working.
Yes.
Working throughout and trying to ensure that these laws are actually in place. So I haven't been here for a long time.
Sure.
But I am today.
And what's going on? Because last week we got an order stopping the vetting of the IBC commissioners. What have you been doing? Because today, actually, as you resume, the instruction had been that you come with a report.
We go with a report today so that you're able to report on whether those are approvals or disapprovals. But the court order was made last week.
Yeah.
And we have to comply. A court order is a court order. It has to be complied with until it is set aside.
Sure.
It's a country of rule of law. And as the chairperson of the Justice and Legal Affairs, I should be actually the lead person to obey court orders.
Sure.
So we obeyed. We didn't do the vetting yesterday. We are not doing it today. We have no report today for the House. We are awaiting a ruling tomorrow regarding the matters that are before the court. So without any speculation, ours is to say, let's wait and see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully the court will give directions and we'll abide.
Okay, I thought they said 29th, which is on Thursday.
29th is Thursday, or it may be the 29th, yes, Thursday.
So what happens? Because the law on parliamentary approval has a timeline. I think it's about 28 days.
It's 28 days. I think they're lapsing just about that weekend. From the time the nominees were received. I haven't done the recalculation of the exact number of days, but we got that around the 6th or 7th of May. That takes us to about the end of the month.
Okay.
So I presume that we may have a few more days left.
Okay.
And if the approval is, we are allowed to proceed, then we will do it back to back.
If 28 days lapse before you vet,
yes,
do they stand approved, or because of the court order, they'll still have to?
We'll have a legal argument as to whether time is running.
Yeah.
When the court order stopping is in force.
Okay.
So that's just a legal argument that we will have pros and cons. But in my view, time is not running. From the date the order was made to the date it is unfrozen, that time will not be counted.
Okay.
We will now start counting afresh from when we are supposed to proceed.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the insights. Okay. Now, this morning, waking up to the papers, State Terror is the story of the Daily Nation, and they are saying a report the president handed to Parliament noted a rise in abductions blamed on crime, even with no action taken against rogue security agents blamed for killing dozens of protests during last year's June Gen Z protests. There are growing concerns that a brutal crackdown on government critics has escalated. The latest victim of the state-sanctioned abductions is Juja MP George Koimburi. It's also a very big story on the Standard, which you will see sliding into anarchy. The image of the Member of Parliament. I was hoping that you'd see the paper on how it looks like. So let me just try and show you. Here it is. So that is the Member of Parliament for Juja constituency. And they're saying that by last evening, the MP remained unable to speak, a chilling sign that the current regime's now familiar tactic of abducting and torturing critics may have struck again. Despite official denials, growing claims suggest that key law enforcement agencies have been weaponized to silence dissent. And like I told you earlier on, we are yet to verify who exactly is behind what has befallen the Member of Parliament for Juja constituency. I want to take brief comments from you on what you're taking this to be, starting with you, Chairman.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. On the face of it, it's regrettable. It is something that cannot be condoned from whatever quarter this is coming from. But as we've been told, and as you've rightly commented, it is to be verified. Let's get it verified so that we get deep into this. We know exactly who is responsible for this and the reasons behind it. The only thing we know is there's an allegation that he was actually abducted on Sunday, and that he was found yesterday in a plantation, lying the way he's lying on the photograph, writhing in pain, unable to speak. But we do not have any details whatsoever who is behind this, and therefore our law enforcement agencies should actually move, and they should have moved with the utmost speed to unravel the mystery as to who did this, what were the reasons, and if any criminal acts were committed, those people should be brought to book. On the other hand, if it wasn't, then again, the law should take its own course.
Okay.
That's my comment.
What do you mean if it wasn't?
That, unfortunately, this is a politician, and politicians are known for all manner of antics. From time to time, people engaging themselves in all manner of things. We have seen it happen, and we have live cases and examples we can give. So I don't want to say that anything like that has happened. But again, until it is investigated and ruled out, nothing can be ruled out.
Interesting. Mheshimiwa Mukunji, what do you make of this?
Well, Sam, let me say first, I feel very sad for Honorable Koimburi on what he has gone through. And it is obvious that we have a challenge in this country when it comes to matters to do with our police force and law enforcement. I want to say I have experienced abduction myself. And when the president was passing through Embu town, while I was going to attend the meeting, I was abducted and I was released after around an hour. And I was very traumatized. And maybe many people I told that story, including my good colleagues, did not believe that happened. But of course, they told me they are not going to harm me. They did not touch me. They only took my phone. At the end of the day, I feel sad when we trash such issues until something happens that is drastic. Sam, the other day we just lost our colleague, Honorable Were.
Right.
And from what I hear, he had complained a number of times that his life is in danger. But most likely you find many people did not take it serious. Sam, I have been on the street of Embu to fight to get one of the son of Embu called Billy Mwangi, who was taken by police, people with hoodies, and he got lost for 14 days until he was dropped off. And the history and stories around many people who are concerned on this were trying to put an allegation that he abducted himself or he is in some girlfriend's house. And this is actually coming out now, that these things are happening and then people are actually trashing them and trying to put a political narrative into it. I think Article 25A of our Constitution is very clear that you are not supposed to be subjected to torture.
Sound Candy Talk is timely, accurate, professional, and affordable. You have a complaint or